Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Ferrum Academy. We are aiming to educate you on everything crypto. So if you've got any questions, you can always put them in a comment and we're going to make an episode out of that. My name's Tom and I'm from the marketing team here at Ferrum Network. Please welcome Ian, who's the COO of Ferrum Network. Hey Ian.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. And here in the first episode, we are going to discuss what is crypto? What's the core purpose of crypto? Who invented it? And why is it so important? Why is it changing the financial system? Ian, so first of all, this is a very broad subject, right? Crypto's been around since 2009, but a lot of people are trying to jump on the bandwagon. They're investing in different tokens and different coins. Sometimes they're doing their own research. We always advise to do your own research whenever investing in any kind of crypto, any kind of investment, really. But yeah, when did it all started? Like, what's the actual concept of cryptocurrency?
Yeah, so I view cryptocurrency as nothing more than digital cash, right? Folks probably are familiar with sending emails around. How easy is it? How easy is that? How easy is it to send an email, an MP3, a document over the internet? Well, why not money, right? Why can't we send money over the internet as easily as anything else? And that's really what cryptocurrency solves, right? The ability to send digital value over the internet, peer-to-peer, without any sort of intermediary, which means, of course, no censorship and no risk of some corporation taking absconding with your money or what have you. It's purely peer-to-peer. It's digital money. Think of it like sending an email over the internet, but it's actually value. So that's how I view crypto. We can get a little bit more technical, but like think about it from a high level. That's kind of how I like to look at it.
Mm-hmm. And because it makes sense, obviously. But why is it so unique? Why is cryptocurrency so unique? Because at the end of the day, when we want to send money online, we can do bank transfers. We can use PayPal, let's say, But what's the actual difference here with cryptocurrencies and any standard kind of financial products like PayPal, like bank accounts,
Yeah. So I think the key word there, decentralization, right? All the other means of sending value across the internet involves an intermediary that takes custody of your funds at some point in that process. So PayPal, for instance, that money, it's your account, right? But it's really being held by PayPal. It's assigned to you essentially, right? But if PayPal gets hacked or goes under, you can lose your money. No different from a bank. Your checking account has money in it, but if there's a run on the bank or the bank goes under or something like that, you can theoretically, lose your funds. Obviously, in the States, you're FDIC insured between $250,000. But there's a lot of places in the world where there isn't the sort of protections that we have in many developed countries. And so cryptocurrency, I think, is really designed to solve those problems, right? It's a decentralized version of a bank account, right? That's really what it is. You control your funds. You can send them to somebody else without any kind of intermediary. You can send them around the world in seconds for very low fees. And that's actually incredible innovation that I think people, when they look at crypto, it's speculative, it's this and that. Well, if you've ever tried to send, 10 million, 50 million, $100 million from the United States to China, and, you had to go through 8 banks and it took 2 weeks and they took 10% fees, then you look at crypto and you say, wait, I can just send it like that. No intermediate or $100 million to around the world in 5 minutes for a couple dollar transaction fee. That's a massive innovation. And so when people say, oh, crypto doesn't have any value, talk to me after you try to do international transfer and tell me crypto doesn't have any value. So there's a lot more to it. We're just scratching the surface, but to me, that's like the most differentiating factor between like your centralized money transmission services and cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm. And I think the idea of decentralized finance is great. And we can see real life problems that are being solved with cryptocurrencies right now as well. But a lot of people are probably wondering, is this safe? Is it safe for my finance to do that? Is it safe to put them on those DeFi platforms, DeFi wallets, or crypto wallets? Is it actually safe? What can you tell us about that?
Well, it is safe if you follow the proper procedures for securing your own account. See, that's the downside, you could say, of a non-custodial, decentralized financial system. The end user is much more responsible than in the case of holding your money in a bank account, right? In the bank's scenario, the bank is going to be the one it has the security in place and they have the system set up. And if anything goes wrong, you can, in most cases, look to the bank to try to make you whole. Cryptocurrency, it's like money in your pocket. It's like money in your wallet. If you lose your wallet, the money's gone. It's no different. It's digital cash. So you have to do certain things to protect yourself. They're very simple. They're basic, common sense things. Writing down your seed phrase, right? Storing it somewhere safe where no one else can access it. Don't share it with anybody. All these common sense things that, I'm sure we'll make other videos in the academy about, securing your wallet and so on and so forth. They're easy. They're simple. Never overlook them. But to me, it's perfectly secure. You just have to do those things and you should be fine.
Okay. And what? Because we're talking about decentralized finance, right? And we're talking about the solutions that it brings to people around the world. But apart from the transferring the money across to another country, like across the world, really, what other utilities of crypto are there? What is it for?
Sure. So there's many different kinds of cryptocurrencies. Well, there's really it gets a little bit, you get a little bit into the weeds, but there's different categories of these digital assets, right? Cryptocurrencies are, in my view, and I think the general definition are essentially they're currencies, or maybe you consider them commodities, where their primary use case is value transfer, decentralized value transfer across the internet. That was the first innovation Bitcoin solves. Satoshi Nakamoto, the incredible blockchain revolution. That's what that was. So let's send internet across. Let's send money across the internet with no intermediary. Great. There have been evolutions since then that built upon the core concept of blockchain, but applied it to other things. The one that most would come to most people's mind, of course, is Ethereum, with the concept of smart contracts. So instead of just value transfers across the internet, you're now able to do what's essentially decentralized data transfers across the internet with smart contracts, right? Which is probably a topic for a whole nother Ferrum Academy video. But you have cryptocurrencies, and then you have tokens, you have NFTs, you have DeFi, right? So all these different subcategories kind of born out of this digital asset revolution, all with their unique use cases and so on. But to me, like the huge innovation was blockchain technology, sending money across the internet as easy as an email. That's what I think it's really fundamentally all about.
Yeah, because there's definitely is the core purpose of crypto, of how it all started. But actually going back to how it started, because you already mentioned Bitcoin and Ethereum, how did it start? It happened in 2009. And do you know the story?
Well, like anything, there were people working on this problem of digital cash for years and years. Prior to 2009, prior to Satoshi Nakamoto, there were people working on this problem, I think, as early, as in the 90s. when the internet came out, it was pretty clear that we can send emails, we can send files, MP3s. Well, why not money? So people wanted to solve that problem. There was a couple of challenges, though. The main one being what's known as the double spend problem. So when you send an email to somebody, if I send it to you, that email to you, and I turn around and send that identical email to somebody else, I can do that, and it's weird and it might be a little bit annoying, but it's not like I really harmed anybody. But if you're talking about money, if I send you $100 and then I send that same $100, because everything's digital, right? You can make copies. If I send that same $100 to somebody else, well, I've screwed up the whole system and I've potentially defrauded people, right? So the double spend problem was one of the things that I think the early pioneers were trying to solve for a long time. There's a guy named like David Chaum who built something called eCash or digital cash or something like that. So there were people going back like well before Satoshi invented blockchain technology. But he built on the different ideas the pioneers that were solving this problem had come up with. And he was the one who, I shouldn't say he, because we don't actually know the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. It could be a he, could be a she, could be a they. But he built upon these ideas and used blockchain technology, decentralized ledger, secured by people running nodes, essentially, to solve the double spend problem and other problems that have previously prevented digital cash from being a thing. And he made digital cash. He made digital cash possible, right? He or she or they. So that's a little bit of the history. I suggest there's so much great readings about this. You can Nathaniel Popper, who writes the New York Times, had a great book about it. There's many other sources for the story and the history of cryptocurrency, which is absolutely fascinating. And I highly suggest that if anybody who's thinking about investing in anything having to do with crypto, you got to understand these core concepts, in my opinion, because without understanding them, you won't know why they exist. You don't know what problems they're solving. And when the prices are going down, you will have zero conviction to hold on to them because you won't know what they are. So before anybody starts investing in stuff, do your research, understand what problems these are trying to solve, why it matters, and maybe it doesn't resonate with you, right? And invest in something else. But I think anyone who goes down the rabbit hole, for the most part, I think finds the story fascinating. I know I do, and I just sort of touched on the surface of it, but hopefully that gives folks some idea of Satoshi Nakamoto, what he, she, or they were trying to solve, and why it's important.
Definitely. And obviously, we recommend to subscribe into our YouTube channel because we are going to be releasing much more videos like that from the Ferrum Academy playlist and tutorials. And we are going to be expanding on the topics and subjects around crypto from when it all started and what crypto is, like in this episode, up until what it is, what crypto market is right now, and how it evolved, how it changed, and what are the most common terms as well to fully understand for everyone. But I just wanted to ask you, Ian, one final question for everyone that's watching us. So we've discussed the core concept and purpose of crypto and how it really started and, how it basically works. This is very basic. We're going to be diving in deeper into those things later stage with our videos. However, I wanted to ask you a question. If you could introduce people to Ferrum, what's Ferrum doing in the crypto space?
So Ferrum is trying to solve some of the fundamental problems that have been preventing cryptocurrencies and digital assets from actually being adopted by the masses. There's many challenges when it comes to this problem, and we're not sitting here pretending we're going to solve every one of them, but there's two core issues that we think have been preventing more people from coming into the space. And one of them being the scalability problem. So in other words, the low speeds and relative high costs of running transactions on a decentralized network. And the other one being the fact that there are so many networks that they're all viable in their own right, but they're all siloed off from each other. They're not connected together. And so we are trying to, what Ferrum is building is a network which will connect all the various blockchains, or say most of the various blockchains, into one single high-speed, low-cost network, which will allow you to spend your Ethereum, and it'll spend your Ripple and your Solana token and even your Bitcoin very fast, very cheap. But beyond this, you will actually be able, if you're a builder within the space, be able to deploy smart contracts on the Ferrum network and have them work on any different chain that we're connected to, which is, from a development standpoint, a huge, huge problem that's making it hard to build in the industry. So we're sort of solving it from the end user standpoint and the builder standpoint. But we also do a lot of other things, mind you. We've built DeFi products. We incubate projects. We've been in this space for a long time. We're just really trying to solve problems, help our users, help our partners, our clients. And who knows, maybe one day we'll change the world.
I love that. Yeah. And for everyone, just to know as well, Ferrum started in 2018 during the bear market. A great video of Ian presenting at DC Central Miami, the full story, the background of Ferrum Network. The video link is going to be in the description, and it will open your eyes to what crypto was back in the day, what it is now as well, and what kind of crypto powerhouse Ferrum is actually becoming. Because I think that's the key. Okay, well, Ian, thank you so much for explaining those concepts of crypto and the purpose and the story of Ferrum Network as well to us, to me, to all the viewers. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care.